Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura or lauraxstitches and this is my June update for 2017. Today is a very cold Saturday, the 1st of July, and that's why I've got my hoodie on. Today is my first day of school holidays. Second lot of school holidays ever for me, so that's very exciting. It's a pajama day, so sorry for not dressing up. It wasn't going to happen today. I've got my door open today because I've got the dogs inside and they're being really naughty lately, so I'm just keeping my ear out and my eyes out for them, so they might wander in, but they probably won't. They're probably asleep or destroying something, either one. I've actually got a fair bit to talk about today, and I didn't think I was going to, and then a couple of things came and it's all very exciting. So just kind of a normal one today, and if I have time I'll do the 20 things you didn't know about me tag, and yeah, I've got that all planned, but we'll see how long I take to do this anyway. Thank you very much for the well wishes and thoughts and prayers for my pa. Last video I mentioned that he's been diagnosed with very advanced liver cancer. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of good news on that front. It's actually gotten worse. They've decided to stop his chemo, so there's just no point in doing it anymore because it's just not working and nothing's getting better. So they stopped that this week. So we're looking at a month. It just depends on what happens. So unfortunately not good news there, but yeah, if you just keep thinking of him and my family, that'd be great. I should be seeing him tomorrow, I think. As you can tell, I'm a bit nasally. I've had a bit of a throat thing. This whole last week of term has been very, very stressful and tiring, and I've just been very, very tired, and I think that's kind of culminated in a cold. It's not really a cold, it's just a blocked nose. There's not really much to it. What else has happened? Been a bit I guess stressed and anxious is probably how it's been this month, especially the past couple of weeks, with school and stuff. I don't know, it's just been a bit hard. So I'm hoping that with these holidays I'll go back in a couple of weeks and be quite refreshed. That's about it for life update. I've got whips, bit of haul, but nothing that I've really purchased myself. There's a couple of like fabrics and stuff that have come in, but I've got 2 gifts to show as well, and then we'll see what our time is like there. So last month I said that I was going to have a weekly rotation again after Mania finished, which has worked and it's been really good. The first week was my sale week, and it will be until I stop doing sales, which I don't think is going to happen because there's so many. And I actually worked on my June calendar piece the last couple of days of May, so the 29th and the 31st. Notes are down here, by the way, which is why I'm looking there. And then I also worked on it from the 4th to the 7th of June because I didn't quite get it finished in that last couple of days of May. So this month was June, but I was doing, I think it was November, because as most of you know, but I'll say just in case you're new, hi by the way, I'm doing the Adorable Animals, where's the 2017 calendar. This was a free gift in Cross Stitch Crazy of December last year. I'm changing this to a Southern Hemisphere calendar because it is seasonal. So I made my November into my June because it is quite cold and there is a lot of bonfires happening. So that was what I did, and I did get to finish that. This isn't my favourite one, not because I don't like it, it's still cute, but it's just not my favourite. Don't really know how else to explain that. My favourite was May, which was a couple of foxes, which you can have a look at in my last video, but so far May's my favourite, but I was glad to get that done. This month I think I'm keeping the same one. Let me find July. June, July, or maybe not, let me just check. July looks quite springy, and it is definitely not spring weather just yet. Sorry if you can hear the pages, there's not much I can do about it. Here it is, July. It's going to be January. So January was a little dog in the snow, which I think I like. Love dogs. I hope they're not being naughty, actually. Let me see if I can hear them. Hopefully that means they're asleep. So I'll be doing that one this month. I'll get that started when I finish the fantasy sale block for July, which was released today actually, and that's my next whip I'm going to show you. So after I finished, actually I worked on the June piece for a couple of days, and then a couple of days in May, and then I worked on my fantasy sale on the 1st until the 4th of June, and I finished it on the 4th of June. This is the Lakeside Needlecraft fantasy sale, which actually finished up today because it's the 1st of July. I've started this quite late. My first block was the May block, so I've got the last 3 months, and I need to catch up on the other 9, so and the border. But last time you saw it, I just had the May one done. So this is being stitched on, my calendar pieces are all being stitched on an antique white 14 count Ada, just from Sew It All, the Australian site. Yeah, I just use the same piece for all of them, and it will pretty much use it all up. This is being stitched on a 32 count Joblin by Colour Cascade Fabrics called Forbidden Fruit, and here's where we are. As always, this makes it look quite like hot pink, but it is a lot more of a corally colour. So that piece there, that little elf, was June, and then this month has just been released, and it's a fairy, and I've started stitching it this morning. I've just got a bit of a flower there, so I'll keep doing that, and I'll explain a bit more about that in my plans. My needle minder there is 3D printed by my boyfriend, so it's one of a kind, except I'm pretty sure you can get it anywhere. So that's that one. So yeah, that one took a couple of days. I'm hoping to get this July one done hopefully today, if I can sit down, because I haven't got anything on because it's school holidays. I'm not editing this today, I'll be editing it tomorrow. We had a couple of drinks after school yesterday, and I decided that to be safe I wouldn't drive home, so my car's at my parents', and it has my laptop in it because I've left it in there. So I will get that back off them hopefully tomorrow, and then I can edit this tomorrow and put it up. But today I'm not really doing much, so hopefully I can get that stitched. It would be really cool to get that done. Then I can work on my calendar piece tomorrow, and that doesn't take me very long at all. It's a really, really quick stitch, those ones, so that'd be awesome. So then it was week 2, and in week 2 I do a random number generator. So I have my whips listed. I think I'm at 9 at the moment. I'm not 100% sure, but I've got my whips listed, and each has a number, and then it drew number 8, which was Walking in London by Clouds Factory. And this was a Mania start. It was actually the last, I think it was the last one that I started. So I actually picked it up only 2 weeks after I put it down, so that was pretty cool. I'll just show you what it's going to look like when it's done. I can find those. So it's going to look like this. I'm still deciding whether to put London at the top or not. I'm going to have to see what it looks like at the end, I think, and decide then. I don't know. This is being stitched on a piece of, I thought it was even weave, but it's definitely linen. And it's just a 32 count. I got it off Sew It All as well, I'm pretty sure, and it was just a piece of pale blue. There was no like brand or anything to it. Where are we? So here's what it looked like last time. I'm gonna remember to do that. So it looked like that, and since then, here we are. It's quite a long piece, so it's much more. I probably could have, because the piece is like this, I probably could have done it more at the top and saved some, but it's fine. It's not my favourite fabric that I've ever worked on, but it's not the most horrible thing either, so that's pretty good. I cannot fold this. Let's try this. Hey. So I finished off St. Paul's Cathedral, I think. Is that what it is? It's on my Instagram if you're confused. Then Big Ben, a tree, a bicycle, and this, I can never remember what this is called. If I remember, I'll put it at the bottom, but yeah, that's that little tower thing I'm doing. Yeah, this is also another nice stitch to do because it's just blocks of colour. Things like the bicycle and stuff aren't as blocky. It's more, that's gone really washed out. Let's leave it back here. Yes, obviously not as much of a block, but that's okay. And it's using up some of my threads I don't particularly like. Like this, the tree was, I got a whole bunch of threads in one of the first issues of Cross Stitch Crazy I bought, and it's not DMC, it's like quite cheap. But what do you expect from a magazine? They can't spend like that much money on a free gift, you know. So that's awesome. If this gets drawn this month, because of how I'm planning, I'll probably draw again to another one, but we'll see. I've got one piece coming up that I've been working on that I think I may finish very, very soon. Oh, by the way, sorry about my hair. What a mess. I don't really mind because I'm on holidays, but I thought I'd just apologise anyway. There's that. So that was from the 8th until the 14th, and that's when I picked up my next piece, which was Epic Pokemon. This has a bit of a story to it. So if you don't know, I'm stitching the Generation 1 Epic Pokemon Extended Edition. The original pattern is on Sprite Stitch, but I found an extended version on Reddit. I go on Reddit and I'm on the Cross Stitch subreddit and the Pokemon subreddit, so I saw both. And it's just they just shared it as a Google Drive document, because the original one is free. They obviously don't make money from it because they can't. And it's quite big. It's 25 pages. Or 26. My one's 25. I think the pages might be bigger. I don't really know. But it's 25. It's 5 by 5 pretty much. So this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. And I'll also insert a picture of what it looked like last time you saw it. Now I decided that I would give this a week, a month, because I really want to get cracking on this full coverage, because I've got 4 Hades that I've got that I really want to get going, including one that I've already started, which I'm probably going to restart, but I'm going to talk about that whenever the heck I finish this Pokemon one, which is going to be in years and years. So this is being stitched on 18 count Ada. It's just it was meant to be white, but it's 100% cream, but it doesn't really matter. So I worked on page 6 because that's what I was up to. And that's what we're looking like at the moment. So the top row is all finished, which was finished last time you saw it, and I worked on the page at the bottom with all the threads hanging out. I'll zoom in a bit on that one. Oh, goodness me. I'll fold it again. That's better. So from where the blue lines start, pretty much. Now, I'm pretty sure last time you saw it, I'll see if this works. I feel like I'm at school reading a book. I'd stitched this part here, I think some of this part, and a little bit of some of the stuff down here. And I actually, on the first day I did this, I finished this column here. Then I went up to the next column. I started this 10 by 10 block here. I was like, this is not right, they're not lining up, what's going on? Then I realised, I looked at my pattern. Now on this one, all of the squares are 10 by 10 except for the top row and the bottom row. I didn't realise that. The top row is 11 because the bottom row of this page is 9. So it goes 9, 11, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9. So I didn't realise, and I had gridded for 10 by 10 for all of them except the bottom one, because this bottom one was 9, but this top one wasn't. That was all 10. So I'd mucked up, like everything was a row off. So I messaged my sister, I messaged Adele from Adele Stitches, and I said, what do I do? I messaged him, I said, this is what's wrong. Do I leave it and see what happens? Adele messaged back first and she said, you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but you need to rip it out and do it again, because it's such a big piece that you're going to want to. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to though. And I was like ready to start stitching again, just leaving it. And then my sister messaged back and said, for such a big piece and how long it's going to take, a day isn't going to matter. Just rip it out and do it again. I was like, why do you have to be so sensible? So I had to rip it out, and then I started again. I ended up doing rows this time, so I wouldn't have to re-stitch the same thing again, because I would have got really bored and I would have probably put it down. So I ended up stitching in rows, and I found it a lot quicker for me. I thought that stitching, because I originally did start with rows up here in the first page and I hated it. Now I'm doing rows again, I think because I'm used to parking more. I'm going to stitch in rows, I think, for a while. I'll probably go back to vertical, then I go to horizontal. The whole thing will be different, but yeah. So I really like it. I love looking at it, especially when it's so far away, because you can really see what's going on, which is what everyone says with a full coverage piece. This has 3 rows left of the page. I got to that week and I was pretty tempted to keep going, because I was getting like a row and a half, 2 rows done a day, which was pretty insane seeing as at school. But I think that was around the time of report writing, or it was just after report writing, which was just my life at that point. So I decided to stop, and I'll pick this up, get this page finished and start page 7 in a few weeks. So that'll be week 3 of July, but I'll talk about that again later. But I'm loving this. I've rekindled my love for it. When I was doing it, I was getting a bit over it, and then like one of the days that I was doing it, I just goes, you know what, this is awesome, and I want to get this finished, and I want to get it finished not in 10 years time. Like, I want it done in a reasonable amount of time. It is going to take years. It's nearly been a full year, but I still want to get it done. And I haven't actually told you my most exciting news. We bought a house. My boyfriend and I, we purchased a house. We're signing for it next week. Really, really cool. It's really exciting. And I want that to be in our lounge room, framed in a really, really important part of our house. So I really want to get it done within the next, I'm giving myself 5 years, which sounds ridiculous, but I really want to get it done, considering it took me close to a year to complete a full row of pages. And now that I'm going to get more attention, I feel like I should be quicker. There may be times when I go, you know what, it's going to be time to do a whole bunch more or do a whole bunch less. I'm not sure. I was actually thinking for next year, I might try and give it 2 weeks a month instead of just the 1. But we'll see how we go with my whips at that point. So that was from the 15th to the 21st. The 15th was stitching that column and then unpicking it. The 16th was finishing, unpicking and starting again, and then I just went woof, and I think because of that I was like, I need to catch up, so I did heaps and heaps. So that was really good. Then I was going to pick a random one for my next week, but I had a really, really big urge to do my Nora Corbett Mermaid. This is mostly because of the new Mirabilia Renaissance, I can never say it, Mermaid that came out, which I did actually pre-order. Because I love it. It's beautiful. Adele showed me and I was like, I need to get it. I've got a fabric for it. I've got a fabric for it. I've just ordered the chart and the embellishments with the water lilies. I'll get the DMC myself, but I wanted those couple of things. So I'm getting those from Colour Cascade from Tammy. So I was like, I want to finish my mermaid before my new one comes. So the mermaid I'm working on is Ophelia's Pearl, and I actually brought this with me for once. I always forget this. I just got the beads in the back. So she's going to look like that when she's finished, and I'll tell you what, she's pretty close, guys. It's pretty close. So I'll insert a picture here of what she looked like last time. Now she's currently on my frame, and she does stay on it because I only use a scroll frame for one whip at a time. I don't interchange because I sew it on and I can't be bothered unsewing it. No. And this was actually made by my pa, so I like to use only this one. So last time you saw it, let's have a look at it now. It's loose because I like to keep it loose when I'm not using it. Now I'm pretty sure that I didn't have any of this finished. So I've done a crap ton in a week. So I finished working on her yesterday, so that was actually a week and a couple of days. So all I have left to do of the cross stitching is these little bits here and these bits in here. I think there's about 4 colours left. There might be actually some more on the sides, I'm not too sure, but everything else is finished. And you know what? She's bloody beautiful. She's gorgeous. She is being stitched on 32 count Summer Sky Even Weave from 123 Stitch. I bought everything. I bought the whole lot. So I bought the fabric. I actually chose a different fabric. The chart, the beads, and the DMC all from by Tooth Stitch, because I just wanted to get it. It was with birthday money, so it's fair enough. Started her in April. I left her for a month for Mania, and now I'm back to her. So she's almost finished the cross stitching, and then it's a little bit of back stitch. Where is that thing? There's just back stitch around her skin, and also these bits that come out there. That's all back stitched with a couple of beads at the end. So I need to do those. But yeah, it's really exciting. I love this like burnt orangey bit here. My favourite colour is orange. This was always going to be the one I was going to do, hey. So I'm really, really excited to keep going on her. This heart needle minder is from JK's Cross Stitch Designs. It was, I always say that, JK's Cross Stitch Supplies. Hello, by the way, just in here. And that was a free gift with a DMC purchase. And this is a cute little puppy from Adele. I don't know where she got it from because I didn't keep the card. Yeah, it's my blingingest needle minder, so I thought I'd use it for Nora Corbett's. I put my pattern here and put the 2 needle minders over the top so I don't have to turn around all the time. I didn't make a working copy because I'm stupid, but it's not damaged at all. There's just like a crease where I've been folding it, but it's folded where it was already folded. That makes sense. So she's almost finished, just needs her beads and back stitch and just this last tiny bit of cross stitch at the bottom. So I've worked on her from the 22nd until the 31st, so I finished her up last night. I didn't finish her obviously, but I finished working on her for the month last night. Yeah, so they're on my whips that I've worked on. I worked on 5 with one little finish. Speaking of finishes, I've decided not to do Stitch and Stash for the rest of the year. I need to actually take myself out of the group. I need to remind myself to do that. Not because I don't enjoy it. I really did enjoy the group and everything, but I just feel like I don't need it anymore. I haven't bought any patterns since my birthday, except for the Mirabilia. I just buy my DMC when I need it. I just buy my fabric when I need it, and I've got a fabric in the Mother Club, and that's enough. So I don't think I'm in dire need for Stitch and Stash at this point. So I'm going to take myself out of the group, but it was really, really fun and I really enjoyed it. I blew myself out of the water this month with the Mirabilia because it was expensive, but every other month I was always in the black, red, I don't remember which, I don't gamble, which one's the right one. I was always positive I wasn't minus, so yeah, I felt pretty good about that. Let's talk haul very quickly. Actually, the end bit won't be as quick, but I'll do my best to get through this as quick as I can. I did get the latest issue of Cross Stitch Crazy, but there wasn't anything in there that I really, really loved. What I'm doing with the rest of my issues, I'm not resubscribing to that because it's just, I feel like it's a bit of a waste of $100 and something for the 12 months if I'm not going to use anything from it. So I took out, I think I only got about 10 patterns out of all the ones I had. I took them out and kept them, and then I gave the rest to the after school care program at school. Like 3 or 4, I think actually more like 5 or 6 kids have started cross-stitching Pokemon, and so I thought I'd give them all the magazines for maybe some other ideas for patterns. I know that a couple of the girls are doing their names in the alphabets that come with it, so I actually gave that to them, and I will continue to do so. I think I've got either 1 or 2 issues left. It might even be none, I'm not too sure. So any other ones I get, I'll give to them. So bit sad that nothing really was in there that I really loved, but not much you can do about it. I don't choose the stuff that's in there, so I can't really choose it for me. The next thing I got was and there's going to be crinkling, and I'm going to say sorry now, and I'm not going to say it again. Fabric of the month from Colour Cascade Fabrics. I get the 18 by 26 32 count Joblin in just the plain. It says April, but it was actually May, and this is Oceans. Now that's pretty close. It looks a bit more blue there. It's a bit more green in real life. Here's my pajamas. Which leg is it? There's my pajamas. Enjoy that. But yeah, that's what that looks like. It is gorgeous. I'll turn it around in case that makes any difference. Not really, but I love it. It's beautiful. I've loved every single one. It's been three so far. I don't see myself stopping for any period of time soon. They're just gorgeous fabrics. Really love working on them. I think I said my fantasy sale was on Forbidden Fruit, which is my first fabric of the month I received from Tammy. I really do like supporting Australian cross stitches and things like that because we don't have a whole lot left. So I do like buying as much as I can from Australia, even if it is that little bit more expensive. But that's okay. I also got my my order in from Colour Cascade from when she had her sale in early April. I got 3 different fabrics, and these are all with a project in mind. So this is just finishing up, kitting up stuff. This is a 13 by 8 in 32 count Lugana. I thought I got Joblin. I'm pretty sure this is Joblin. I don't think it's Lugana. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. It's just plain. This is in, what's it called? Gold Digger Old Map style. It's so cool. How cool is that? This is going to be for my Marauders map, and it's perfect for it. Love that. Looking at it makes me so excited to start things. I get really, really pumped. That's really cool. So that's from Marauders map by Clouds Factory. My Harry Potter piece. And I think that will be the deciding factor on whether I want to do Giant Harry Potter or not. That's the first one. The second one is for my Game of Thrones, the Starks and their Wolves. This is also a colour cast. It's a Clouds Factory piece as well. This is called Blue Moon. I purchased this because I thought it was going to be a lot grayer. Obviously you never know when it comes to hand dyes, but it's actually quite like a sky blue. I'm still going to use it for that piece because I think it will still work, and it's lovely. It's a really lovely colour. All of these are, I think they're actually Joblin. She's marked it as Lugana, but I think it might be Joblin. I don't know. They're all 32 count in the least. So there's that one. Really, really pretty. Then last one, I bought 3 in that sale, is for Clouds Factory. Clearly I wanted a Clouds Factory binge over my birthday. It's called Mini Solar System, and it's just all the planets and the sun, and I thought I need to get something sparkly, so I got this is actually 28 count opalescent Lugana, and it is called Dark Side of the Moon. How amazing is that? When I saw this, I died. I thought it was so cool. That is probably how I'm going to stitch it like that. But like, damn girl, that glitter is awesome. That's going to be so good. When my boyfriend saw it, his name's Matt, by the way. I never ever say his name. His name's Matthew. When he saw it, he's like, you should have got something with purple in it. I was like, no, I like this one better. So I'm excited to stitch that up as well. I don't know how I'm going to choose them. I think I'm going to have to number generate them. I love my reader number generator because it makes decisions for me because I never know what to stitch first. So that's my Colour Cascade haul. There's all those fabrics. Next, I got a present from my dear friend Emma from Queensland. She is on YouTube. She doesn't make videos yet. She's also on Instagram. No, Facebook. We're Facebook friends. Whoops. And she sent me a really beautiful gift. After I told her about my part, she said she didn't know what to do, so she thought that she'd send me something. I was like, you didn't need to do that, but it was really, really sweet. And it's the Sew to Stitch Beauty and the Beast, which is gorgeous. And that's one that I would have purchased myself eventually anyway. I love Beauty and the Beast. If my sister watches this, go away. But I think I'm going to stitch it for her because she loves Belle. So it's very, very cute. I like it a lot. I don't know when I'll stitch it, but I'll get there. And there's all the other ones in the back too, so that's good. It's just a just like that. But yeah, it's very, very cute. I can't wait to do that one. Anywho, then I got a message on Facebook from Danielle or Stitcherista saying, hey, what's your address? I want to send you some stuff. I was like, okay. I literally was like, that's really nice, but yes, please. She said, I want to send you some city stuff. So I gave her my address. This was not last Wednesday, the Wednesday before. And it arrived like within a week, which was crazy coming from America to Australia, considering how terrible Australia Post is. Anyone who's in Australia can agree with me on that. It came in this. And then on the front, it said there was some cross-stitch patterns inside. I was like, ooh, I didn't realise there was this many though. So she sent me actually quite a few patterns. So I'm going to just pull them out, go through them, and talk about how I feel about it. Spoiler, it's all good. The first one she sent me was ink circles, turtles all the way down. Very cute. I don't know if I'd do that many. That's a lot of turtle. But it is really, really cute though. That'd be cool for like the bathroom or something with those colours. I know you can change them out, but oh, there's a pattern on the back. Whoops. So there's one. Let's put straight back in. Next is Plum Street samplers. There's two of these. Hello Spring, which is so cute, and I can't wait to do it. It also came with all of the classic colourworks. That's what they are, classic colourworks. It came with all of those, which I just never used this stuff before, so I'm really excited to stitch this. It's really, really cute. Yeah, it's gorgeous. And I don't really stitch a whole lot of seasonal pieces, so that's really cool. The other one was Hello Summer. It's really cute too. It came with the Classic Colourworks and Week Star Works. The only issue with this is that it has an American flag on it and a bald eagle. And I don't know what to do about that, because as much as I love America, I'd rather stitch an Australian flag and like a kookaburra. So if anyone wants to, convert it for me. Otherwise I'm going to have to work out a way to do it myself. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. It has like a watermelon and flowers and stuff, which is Australian anyway. But yeah, the other two things, I don't know what to do. I could just leave it out, but then it would just look really, really weird. So I don't know about that. If you've got any ideas for that one, let me know, because I want to stitch it, because it's so cute. But I just saw it, I was like, oh, I love it, but that bloody flag. But yeah, really, really cool. Came with all of the Week Star Works and, like I said before, what are the other ones? Classic Colourworks. So excited. I'm so spoiled. And there's a lot more, guys. There's so many. Another Plum Street samplers is Dear Friends, which is adorable. All of these are just perfect. I love them all. So yeah, this one is just the pattern, which is fine, but if I really like the Classic Colourworks, I might indulge myself, but we'll see. The next one is, there's actually three of these, yes. These are Lizzie Kate's. They're the alphabets, the seasonal alphabets. This one's Autumn. And this one also comes with the little squirrel charm, treasure. Now, squirrels are not exactly Australian, but it's too cute to like not do, so I'm just going to do it anyway. That's the autumn one. This is the spring. And this one had a couple of 3 buttons and a dragonfly at the bottom. That one, and then the last one is winter. So I'll have to get the summer one to complete them all. Now this one's very it's actually not that Christmassy really, which is good, because obviously here Christmas is in summer, so that's really good. It's just snowy, and Matt loves to go snowboarding and stuff, so that's all good with me. And this one had a heart and a couple of red buttons at the bottom. So yeah, they're cool. Last two, I think it's 3. because I'm spoiled. These are all Prairie Schoolers. This is Evergreen, so a nice Christmassy piece. I don't have many Christmas things. I don't often stitch Christmas stuff, but I like this one a lot. Obviously with these you can stitch just the little bits, or you can stitch the whole thing. It comes with the reindeer butt and the house as well on the other side as well. I can't do this, there we go. So it comes with both. I love the reindeer butt. I'll have to do that one. That's hilarious. Yes, that's Evergreen. This next one, these next two are fairy tales. This is Little Red Riding Hood, which is cool. I like that it's the same thing, that it's going to be a butt to stitch, but the same thing the whole way around is pretty cool. Like that. And the last one is the Three Pigs. I'd love to stitch these and hang them up at school. That'd be cool. So, thank you so much, Danielle. I wasn't expecting so much things, so many things, which is really lovely. It means a lot that you're generous and stuff, and you get how I'm feeling at the moment with Pa and everything. So, thank you very much, and I very much appreciate it. Everyone's been very, very kind about all this stuff that's going on. That's my haul, which is mostly presents, which is really sweet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the 20 things tag, because why not? I have no idea how long this has gone for now, because I stopped the video halfway through, because I'm very, very smart like that. So I'm just going to do it anyway. 20 things, some things are quite deep, though some things are very, very not. So, bit of both. Bit of both. Along the lines of how McKenna did hers, I think. No U-haul though. None of that. Still really fun though. Okay, first thing is, I play guitar. But I play guitar weird. I write with my right hand, but I play guitar with my left. So how most people would hold it like this, I hold it like this. This way feels really weird. This way feels normal. This way my hands feel funny. This way it's like normal. So my guitar is at school. It stays at school. I don't play it as much as I used to. I used to do a whole bunch of gigs and stuff when I was in high school and just out of high school. But when I went to uni and stuff and I moved, I didn't really want to do them there. So I took my guitar to school early last term now, term 2, because each week at assembly, each class does prayer, because I teach in a Catholic school. And yeah, everyone does prayer. So my class, we did, sorry, this bit of hair, where is it? It's really frustrating me. My class did a song. So I played guitar and they did actions and sang the song. So that was really cool. Number 2, I have a phobia of getting burnt. I'm really weird. Now, obviously no one wants to get burnt. That's fair enough. But I get really stressed out, and I like to avoid things where I have to touch things that could be hot. So if someone has like taken something out of the oven, even if it's been ages, I'll still like get someone to check, or I'll quickly touch it, or I'll just use an oven mitt. I just don't like to touch things that are hot. I used to work at a bakery like 10 years ago, I think, one of my first jobs, and I had to double up on the gloves that they used to get out the hot pies and things, because my hands just were burning. I guess I have really sensitive skin, I think, because I'm so pale. Yeah, I just really hate it. Everything hot freaks me out. I can do a hot shower, but it's probably not as hot as other people's. I hate it. Ugh, with the work, no, I don't want to think about it anymore. Okay. Number 3, I'm a really big fan of cracking my knuckles and cracking other parts of my body. And I'm not going to do it because I know people hate it and they go on about everything, but I don't mind it. Over the years, I've managed to start cracking more things as I'm getting older, but that's okay. It's all good. I just enjoy it. It's good stress relief. Number 4, I'm a bigger fan of Vegemite. I'm a true Australian. I love Vegemite on toast in the morning. Every morning that's what I have, except if it's the weekend, I will do something different. When I'm sick, really, really, like if I have a really bad cold and my mouth feels gross, I'll have some Vegemite. I have been known to eat it by itself because I'm insane. But I'll have some, and it just cleanses your palate. Obviously, a lot of people don't like it, and that's fair enough, but I just don't mind it at all. I don't eat a whole lot by itself, it's just like a little bit, but I can do it. Number 5, in high school, participated and performed in a lot of musicals. So when I was in year 8 was my first one. Lots of things we did: Wizard of Oz, Aladdin, Chicago, Pippin, Seussical the Musical, and Les Mis. Les Mis was the one I did in year 12, which was amazing. It was one of the best experiences. I didn't like the audition process. I auditioned for Madame Thénardier, is that how you say it? I don't remember. And I got a call back, but I didn't get it, and it broke my heart. So, Nell, I think it's Nell. I always forget from... I don't remember her channel name, but she's just auditioned for Belle and she didn't get it and she got really upset, and I totally understand how you feel. Even though it's only high school stuff, it just broke my heart because I was really, I'd practiced a lot and it was invested, and I knew that the person who got the role hadn't practiced as much as I did, and I was like, that's not fair. But you get over it. Good thing is that in that year I was the lead in our year 12 play, so that was pretty cool to learn a lot of lines. I forgot them one night, which was really fun, and we just made it up. It was all good. Number 6, I have a very low pain threshold. I can't deal with much pain at all. I got my ears pierced quite late because I was so scared of the pain. I would love it to get a tattoo, maybe, but no, I'm not going to do that because of the pain. I'm not really good with all that kind of thing. Needles, I'm only okay with because when I was in primary school, I had to get a lot because I was quite sick. So that's okay. But before that, no. Number 7, I give my 2 dogs voices. It's usually the same voice. Matt and I have come up with it together. It is usually the same voice, but sometimes Sky turns into a white girl. She's just a real cow. Because she's such a high-pitched bark. We think that she's a white girl. But Evie's just sounds like a little bit of a slow dog. She's gorgeous. Number 8, I have quite severe anxiety. As you know, I've talked about this before. I have if I have a panic attack somewhere, I have a fear of going back to that place. And I work myself up so much I can get a panic attack thinking about a panic attack from a place, even though it sounds ridiculous. That's like a part of my anxiety. It meshes with the number 9, which was my depression, which I still get a lot of the time. They go quite hand in hand. So if I'm anxious about something, it can make me feel quite depressed about it because I just hate that I'm so anxious. Like, I'm always second guessing everything that I do, everything that people are thinking of me. I always second guess it. So even doing this is big because I always think, oh, what are they thinking of me? And I compare myself to other people. Like, I compare myself to people that started Flosstube at the same time who have quite a number of more subscribers than I do, which is stupid because it's people online. Like, it's silly. I shouldn't be comparing myself for subscriber numbers, but it does come into play with my anxiety. I think, oh, well, what am I doing that's so different and so wrong compared to them, or something like that. At school, I do it all the time with parents and other staff members. I think, why did I say that? I'm so stupid. Like, it gets really, really hard. A couple of people from the cross-stitching community have reached out and we've talked about our anxiety together, which has been really lovely because I don't like to make it known, I guess. Like, it's not something I go, oh, guess what, I have anxiety, also my name's Laura. Like, I introduce myself kind of thing. I've only told a couple of people at school because of situations I've been in where they've noticed something was wrong, and I just say, it's just my anxiety, don't worry about it, kind of thing. So yeah, there's those 2 things. That's, I think, as deep as we're going to get. Let me just check. Yeah, pretty much. If you ever need to reach out and chat, just let me know. I'm always happy to talk about those kind of things with anybody. Number 10, I met Matt, the boyfriend, online. We met each other on Tinder. I I had a boyfriend, obviously before Matt, and I broke up with him. It was quite long distance, so I couldn't deal with it. And then after a little while, I jumped on Tinder, did the Tinder thing, and then I matched with Matthew, and we kind of just like instantly, it was like, yep, cool. And then we organised a date that night, and he was the only person that I gave my phone number to on the same day that we'd matched. So that was quite a big sign for me. After about a month of knowing each other, we made it official, and that is it, I guess. It'll be 3 years in December. In June, it was our 2.5 year, so that's pretty cool. But he's awesome. I like him. He'll probably watch this because he randomly tells me that he's watched my videos when I come back from school. I'm like, cool, thanks for telling me. So hi, if you're watching, I hate you. Anyway, when I was 11, this is number 11, and it's about something when I was 11. I became an auntie. My sister, who passed away 2 years ago, actually that was this month too, it's just been a bit of a crazy month. 2 years ago, she was quite a bit older than me because she was from my dad's first marriage. So she was like double my age pretty much. Actually just a bit less than that. And she had her first daughter when I think I was in grade 5 or something like that. I think it's that. How old am I? Yeah, something like that. It would have been about then. I was definitely in primary school. And that was really cool to say that I was an auntie when I was so young. So that was really cool. Now I have 2 nieces, I have 2 nephews, and I have a step nephew. I don't know. It's my brother's wife's son. He's really cool, but they're all really cool. Number 12 is probably going to cause me to lose subscribers. I hate mashed potato. I don't like it. I never have, and I think it's because my parents like fed it every night to me, and I hated it. I know I found my soulmate in Matthew because we both hate mashed potato, and everybody else I've ever met goes, oh, how can you hate mashed potato? And I'm like, easily, it's just a bad food. And then Matt and I met each other, and we were like, oh, everyone else thinks that mashed potato is the bee's knees. I don't think it's the bee's knees. I don't like it. Excuse me. A couple of more serious ones. Number 13, I hate people who are up themselves. I shouldn't say hate, I really don't like that quality in people. Which is like normal, but it really, really frustrates me. As somebody who has extremely low self-esteem, I really don't like people who think they're... I don't want to swear. I don't need to do that, but yeah, I just really don't like that quality in people. It just makes me extremely uncomfortable, and I just don't like being around them. Number 14, 2 of the things that make me the most angry, mad, frustrated in the world are child and animal abuse. Anytime I hear things about that, I just get so angry. I get worked up now thinking about it because they're 2 of the most innocent things on this planet, and it just grinds my gears. Just, I don't know how anyone could even do it. It makes me... I'm going to stop because I'm like seeing red right now. Speaking of animals, number 15, my dogs have eaten DMC floss before. I was stitching, I think it actually was Epic Pokemon when I first started it. And it uses 3865 a lot as the white. That doesn't use B5200 or blank. It uses 3865. I think it's a bit creamier. And I lost it, and I was like, I really need this floss. Like, it's a really, really important colour in this whole thing. And I couldn't find it. I searched everywhere. I'm like, the dogs are probably eating it as a joke or whatever. I don't know where it was. I went and bought another skein. And then like a couple of weeks later, I walked outside. I was feeding the dogs. I looked down and I'm like, what's that like ball of something? And I picked it up, and underneath it was my bobbin, and on top was just this gross, not white anymore, DMC floss. I'm like, cool, they did edit them. They stole it from me. Since then, I'm very, very careful about where I leave my floss because I don't like losing colours. Number 16, we're almost there. When I go into the sun, I burn. Obviously, I burn. I'm very pale. Like, my arms are really pale. Actually, my whole body's pale. And I just go back more pale. Like, I don't tan. I don't think I've ever tanned. I've sometimes get it like on my shoulders and stuff, but then after like a week it's just back to pale, and it's really frustrating being in Australia and having to use like sunscreen all the time. Not that you shouldn't do it anyway because of skin cancer and stuff like that, but it's frustrating that I can never ever tan, and when I use fake tan it looks ridiculous. So I just don't do it. I'm just pale and red. That's just how I am. 17, I've never broken a bone. Probably because I'm too afraid to do anything. Excuse me. Along with along with burning, heights are a big thing for me. So even like small heights, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's annoying. Number 18, I can't knit for crap. I try to knit, but it is not a thing that I can do properly. I get really frustrated. I get really tight, and yeah, no, not for me. Number 19, I play Dungeons and Dragons often. Don't unsubscribe because it's not even that bad. I never thought that I would ever say that I play Dungeons and Dragons, but Matthew and I, we watch a Twitch stream called Critical Role, and it's run by Geek and Sundry, and the people that are in Critical Role are voice actors. I've explained this before, I think, in my Christmas presents video last year, but this is how we kind of got really into it, because Matt had bought the starter kit for Dungeons and Dragons or D&D, and we were like thinking about it, and it sounded really cool because it's all about like role play and that type of thing, and yeah, it's really cool. And so we were watching this thing. I'm like, I want to do this. Like, we need to work this out. So I volunteered to Dungeon Master or run the starter kit. We got a bunch of friends and we just did it, and it's awesome. We're now onto a campaign where Matt is Dungeon Master and I play somebody called Mia Lee, and she's a half elf and she's a ranger, so she has a bow and she's really cool. She had an animal companion called Bear, who was actually a wolf, but Bear died. And in game time she only had him for about 5 days, but in real time it was quite a few months, and Mealy's very sad. So I don't know how she's going to go next time, because last time we left off we just finished a dungeon, and yeah, she wasn't a very happy chappy. So we'll see how we go next time. It's really fun, and it's not just people in their mother's basement playing it. It's a lot more people than you think. It's really, really good. And number 20, I've said this before, I think. Don't know. Dad is a returned veteran. Actually, happy birthday, Dad. It was his birthday today. He fought in Vietnam. He volunteered. He went for not volunteered, like he got paid, but he volunteered to go. He went there for 2 years. He was there for his 21st birthday, and then he came back. It's affected him for the rest of his life. But he is a wonderful person, and somebody who is someone I turn to for a lot of the things in my life. He is quite an old dad. Like, in a couple of years he's going to be 70, so he's an older guy. But every time I say that to people, they're like, what? He's not that. I'm like, yeah, he's that old. He doesn't look it, but he is. So yeah, I love him to pieces, and yeah, he does a lot for the community and for returned veterans and their widows and stuff, so it's really cool. There's my 20 facts. Hope you learned something a bit about me and didn't unsubscribe too quickly. I wouldn't be surprised. I reached 600 followers on Instagram, which is pretty cool, so thanks for that. This just randomly popped into my head. I think I'm at 530 something on here, which is like really cool as well. So yeah, there's that. Let's go into plans and then we'll be done. Awesome. Plans, first week of July, so this week, I'm going to try and finish my sales. So I count my calendar piece as a sale because I do it every month. I would love to finish Fantasy today and my calendar piece tomorrow. which would free up 5 days. Now, if that happens, which I'm not saying it will, but it'd be really cool if it did. If it did happen, I would use the rest of that time to finish off and start beating Ophelia's pearl, which is my mermaid. That means that I'm going to give her the rest of this week and then next week. So usually next week, which is the second week, I would do a random draw and just choose a random whip. But if she's not finished, which I'm guessing she won't because there's quite a few beads, I will continue with her until I'm done for that week. During that week, if I start her again coming up on Monday, so I finish fantasy on Saturday, calendar on Sunday, start her on Monday, and say if I finished her Monday, the next Wednesday, so say if I did a week and a couple of days on her, and then I had Wednesday to Saturday, sorry, for that week with no Ophelia's pearl because she's finished before I start Pokemon again, I would choose a random one then and give that little bit of attention because it's still like 4 days of stitching. It's good. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I'll explain next month how that went. So then the second week, I literally just explained that. Third week will be Pokemon. Pokemon gets every third week of every month until next year when I'm probably going to bump it up to 2 weeks. I'll do 2 separate weeks, so I don't do 2 weeks in a row. I'll probably do like 2nd and 4th or something like that. Then the 4th week is going to be random, unless like this month something really, really calls to me. I'd love to work on a couple of things that are close to being finished, but it honestly depends on the random generator because I've got a few things that are close to finishing and a few things that are at the start of their life with me. That sounds weird. And I don't know what to do because I love them all, because I started them all for a reason, so I will see how we go. I have a piece called Poppies in the Wind by Peacock and Fig that I'm not 100% like excited to work on. I can hear a dog. A dog might be coming to visit. I'm not 100% excited to work on. So because it's in a Q-snap and I want it on my skull frame, so I might just wait until Ophelia's pearl is done and put that one back in the active whips. So that's my 4 weeks of July. School starts up again, I think, on the 17th. I think that's a Monday. 17th. And I'll be back doing the school thing and moving house at the same time. We'll be moving in August. So I don't know how my stitching time is going to be in August. There should be one more video in this house, and then the next video will be the new house. I get my stitching room in the new house, which is really exciting. We've got a 3 bedrooms, so I have room to make a room for my crafting stuff and have my sewing machine out so I can do some extra things and make things, and yeah, it'll be good. I think that's everything. Pretty sure it is. I'm going to go and put all of this stuff back, check on the dogs, and then go back to my fantasy sale and try and get that finished while I watch some Flosstube. I've got like 15 videos in my queue, maybe a bit more. Whenever I see them through my subscriptions, I just add it to watch later. So every time that you guys upload a video that if I'm subscribed, it just goes to watch later and I'll eventually work through it all. I try and watch before school while I'm getting ready and stuff, and that's about 20 minutes. So I can get in half a video or a short video, which is good. But weekends and holidays is when I really watch them. So please upload lots this holiday so I'm not bored. And I'll have to find some new people to watch as well, which I've been doing, so that's really cool. Have a wonderful July. I hope that people in America have a great 4th of July. I will just be sitting around for it because it's not a thing. Yeah. So please let me know if you've got any ideas for that Hello Summer piece that Danielle gave me with the American flag. I'd really love to change it to an Aussie flag, but I think it'd be really hard. So if you've got any other ideas for it, please let me know. Because there's a whole bunch of things I can start too. I've got to work out what I'm going to start next, but that's the other plans I wanted to do. Sorry, I knew I was just about to go. Every 2 finishes, I'm going to do a start, I think. Depending on how big the finishes are, I just want to get my whips down a little bit after Mania. So I'll do a couple of finishes, start a new thing, and those things, the things that I have kitted up aren't huge. So that's really good. So I'm thinking the next one is probably going to be Marauder's Map or the Solar System one. We'll see. Is that a dog coming to visit? Is that Evie? Evie! Evie! Oh, Evie! Is that Evie? Yeah! There's my baby girl. Oh, look how good you are. This is Evie, and she's going to bite me. Can you see yourself right now? You're a mess. There's another dog coming. Is it Sky? Or is it Missile? Who is it, Evie? Okay, bye. She's got a booty on her, that one. Anyway, I'm going to go now and go stitch and watch some Flosstube. I love everyone very much. Thank you for everything that you do. That's my housemate's dog, Missile. And I will see you at the end of July. Have a lovely month. Happy stitching and be good to yourself. Bye.